In the previous session, we saw how to read and write data into a text file. And in this session, let's see a quick assignment. Let's say we want to do some data transfer. We want to read a data from one file and then append that data into another file, then read the appended data and create a new file and add that appended data into that new file. Okay, simple thing. So we have this read.txt over here where we have some data. We want to read it, then append it inside write.txt. Then whatever is the appended data, we'll read that one and then we'll create a new file and add that whole data into that one. Okay, so let's begin with whatever we have understood in the previous session. With that understanding, let's start doing this. So first thing is we need to get the file system. So we'll do require file system module. So this is what we start with. Then we'll do fs.read file, right? Which file we want to read? We want to begin reading read.txt file. So we'll copy the relative path. We'll put it here. Then the encoding is UTF-8. And then over here we'll have the callback function. So it'll have two parameters. One is error, another is data. If there is error, we can catch it over here. We can log something in the console, say console.error, and we'll simply say error reading the file. And also we can display the error. And if there is an error, we can stop right at that point. So we can add a return statement here. Now, if there is no error, it means we have something in the data1 variable over here. Now we can use this data and append it inside write file. So to do that, we can simply use fs.append, basically not write, but append file. Which file? This one here. So we can copy the relative path, add it over here. What is the content? Content we already know, data1. What is the encoding? We will use the basic one, that is UTF-8. And at the end, as we know, there is a callback function with one argument, and that is error. You don't have to create this callback as an arrow function. You can use a normal function also, but I'm just using an arrow here. We'll use the same thing. If error, then we'll stop it. So if there is an error, we'll say error writing file. And this error over here. If there is no error writing the file, then what we want to do? We want to read the whole data, the appended data. Then for that, we'll do again fs.read file. Same file, text, write.text that we want to read with UTF-8 with another callback function. Let's call it as data2 here. And we can pretty much use this if condition again. If there is error, we'll say error reading write.text. Now at this point, what we have the appended data over here. So in this data2, we have the data from read and write both. Now if there is no error at this point, we can simply call the fs for the last time and we'll say write. We want to create a new file here. So what happens is when we use write file, if the file is not present, it will create the new file also. So in this case, we'll simply say resources, and over here we'll have write new.txt. So I'm using a new file here. Currently in the resources, we don't have this file. So write new.txt. What is the data? It is data2. We'll use the same encoding, UTF-8, and the last callback function for this one with error. Because while writing, we don't need data. Data is something that we use when we are reading. It is retrieved when we are reading, right? So if there is error, pretty much same thing. We'll use this one again. If there is error, we'll say error while writing into this file. And finally, if all these things work without any error, we'll simply say in the console that operation is successful. So I'm simply going to say success. So look at this thing. What we're doing here is inside one callback, we have a complete function and then its callback, and another operation and its callback, and one more operation and its callback. This is fine. This will still work. When we run this program, we're getting success. You can see a new file has been created here, which has data from both. Actually, it's not getting appended properly. Let's just add a new line character over there. So we can simply use a new line and append it. Right, so for now, let me delete this guy and also remove this part. Okay, so these are our original read and write files. And when we rerun this again, now if you see the write new, now it's with the new line character. Okay, but the fact here is, while we are doing these operations, we are adding new operations inside the callback of the previous operation. And this kind of structure is called as callback hell, or also it is referred as the pyramid of doom. Because when we do this kind of structure, the program here grows horizontally. You can see a pyramid-like structure over here. And why it is called as callback hell is because it is very difficult to read and maintain and understand. Basically, it will work fine, no issues, but let's say we have 20 search operations to be done one after another. With this kind of structure, it's going to get super complicated and also very difficult to maintain and understand in future. So this is the simple concept of callback hell, where we are adding callbacks into callbacks into callbacks. So it's kind of a nested callback kind of structure, which is generally referred as callback hell or pyramid of doom. This is an interview question, so make sure you understand this well. And if you have any questions, let me know.